Jon Stanton tore up his palms as he tried to leap over the barbed wire fence. He fell back in pain as the blood flowed. Looking up, he could see the figure of a man wearing a jacket and baseball cap on the other side of the fence. He stopped momentarily, turned to him, and almost politely bowed his head before sprinting again. Stanton jumped to his feet and took off his jacket. He threw it over the barbed wire and jumped up onto it, using his legs to push himself over before letting himself fall to the pavement on the other side. Dashing through the alley, he spotted a stack of garbage cans next to a dumpster. He pulled out his .45 caliber Desert Eagle and spun around to the other side of the dumpster. No one was behind it. Stanton ran into the dark street. It was well past midnight, and few cars were out so late on a Tuesday night. He heard a crash across the street where the figure was kicking in the flimsy door of an apartment building. Stanton sprinted over and held up his weapon as he entered the building. The light blue carpets were worn, and the walls were stained. On his left, stairs led up to the other floors, and a second stairway to his right led down to what looked like a laundry room and the entrance to the parking garage. Loud thoughts ran through his mind. Indian gurus called the mind that couldn't quiet itself the wild monkey. He closed his eyes and focused on his breathing, counting to 10 in his head until his mind was calm. His sense of hearing was keen, but he couldn't hear anything now. The building creaked and settled in for the night, but he couldn't discern anything out of the ordinary. Stanton stepped gingerly down the stairs, remaining as quiet as possible. Then he heard a mumble from the floor above, hardly lasting more than a moment. But he had heard that sound before, and knew instinctively what it was: a muffled scream. He bounded up the stairs 2 at a time. On the second floor, with his weapon in front of him, he went slowly from door to door, listening. As he got to the end of the hallway, he looked toward the last apartment on the right. The lights were off, but the blue light of a television flickered under the door. The sound was turned completely off. Stanton held his breath and said a quick prayer. He lifted his heel and bashed it into the door just underneath the doorknob. The door flew open and slammed into the wall as splinters rained to the floor. In the living room stood Juan Roberto Gonzalez, holding a .32 caliber revolver to the head of a young girl, no more than 20. "I'll kill her," he shouted. "Back off! Back off!" "What do you want?" Stanton asked, his weapon aimed at the man's head. Every time he had a clear shot, Juan pulled the girl up just a little farther. "I want a car, you hear?" "The whole state's looking for you, Juan. Where are you going to go? They won't let you cross the border. They'll put a bullet in your head before they let that happen." "Fine. She got a baby, too. I'ma pop her, then the baby, and then myself." Stanton lowered his weapon. "You win." He pulled out his keys. "You can take my car, but leave the girl." "No way. She comin' with me." "Okay, but leave the baby." He was quiet a second and then nodded. Stanton threw the keys on the floor between them and began to back out of the apartment, holding his hands high, his weapon dangling loosely in his right hand. There were moments, he knew, when a person could see the future. Not fortune-telling, he didn't believe in that, but just moments where the outcome was certain, where nothing could change what was about to occur. He saw Juan's eyes go to the keys. That was such a moment. His hand tightened over his Desert Eagle, and he lowered it to shoulder height. Juan's eyes went wide as he saw the movement and began to raise his gun. Stanton fired.